Well, hey everybody, Coach Gary Michaeloni here. I want to welcome you to the boot camp, the marketing boot camp for January of 2015. And it's just good to be back here again. And I missed getting together with you guys. Had a horrible cold the end of the month of November and through December. And probably that same evil stuff that's going around that you guys have heard about or have gotten. So I am glad to be largely over that. If I cough once or twice, that's what's happening. But other than that, we're going to give it a go. So glad to be here with you, and let's get moving on. So as you know, you are invited to this webcast because you are subscribed to our list. I want to encourage you again to never unsubscribe because bad things happen. We got an email today. Somebody was wondering how they had lost track of me, and I wrote back and said that it was because they probably inadvertently unsubscribed. So you have to be very, very careful. So basically, this is it. You know, whenever you see something from United Infrared and or Gary Michaeloni, you want to make sure you never unsubscribe. You can be very careful, because if you do, then you won't receive anything that we send, and that would be very, very unfortunate. Okay. So the schedule going forward this year is in 2015 is that every month this year we're going to have a marketing information type webinar for everybody. In addition to that, there'll be a second webinar. It's going to be for members only, and on that one we're going to have secret, special, inside marketing information for members only. And it's great stuff, brilliant stuff, and it's things that I'm going to tell you that most of your competitors do not know about or know how to use, how to implement. And these are things that you can fold into your business and make a huge impact on your business this year. So that's what we're going to be doing. But the secret stuff is members only. As an overview, again, everybody will be getting the sort of if you will, the more generalized marketing information, but you know, the secret UI members only stuff is going to be what we call tactical tips, and these are implementable ideas that you can use to make a big push forward in your own business. Okay. Now all this begins in February. This month, January, we have just the one webinar. Members and non-members are getting this, but as of February, if you are an expired United Infrared member or a non-member, you won't be getting the special stuff I was talking about. And to get yourself in and to be a part of that, you want to call the United Infrared office and ask for the special Coach Gary deal, and don't miss out. But particularly for non-members, I got a super special deal. I can get you in if you need to renew. So check that out. And even for non-members, through the end of this month only, and we're nearing that already, so you have just a few days, we got a special deal to get you to become a member to United Infrared. All right. Okay, so today I want to give you a strategic tip. Now that's not a tactical tip like we're going to be speaking on next week, but this is strategic because I want you to take more of a global look at something here. And here's what it is that I want you to think about. And here's the thing. Our number one question, and I know this after a couple of years of answering phones there in the West Coast office, our number one question that we get is, actually, let me ask you, what do you think the question is that people ask us when they're considering the infrared business? Any ideas? Here's the question. How much competition is in my area? Everybody wants to know that. So the follow-on is, what's our number two question? And let me have you pause for that, see if you have an answer, see if it matches this one. Here's the number 2 question that we get asked rather, is how do I overcome the competition that's in my area? People are really, really worried about that. So we have some news for you today that's going to help you wade through this. Excuse me, there's one of those coughs. But we do have a simple and easy answer on how you get through that. But the simple and easy answer does take work to fix it. And so it's stuff you can do, but it is simple and easy. And it is kind of one of those good news, bad news sorts of things. So we're going to give it to you both ways here. So first, the good news. Something to realize, you should write this down, because it seems like, I know we've said this before, but I'm not sure that everybody really understands it, but I want this to be a part of your mentality as you go into 2015. So here it is, guys. Look at, for 95% plus of our members, so almost 100%, not quite, almost, you are the only thermography that you are ever going to see in your market. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Now, I will tell you that in some of the larger cities, there are a couple of people that are plying their trade there. But practically speaking, the amount of people versus the number of thermographers, it's a huge number. Of course, not everybody needs a thermographer every day, but I'm saying you aren't going to be running into thermographers out there that are trying to steal your business, okay? So here's the good news. You are your competition. And this thing here, you are your competition. You should write this down. You should absolutely write this thing down, because people get all caught up in this, and virtually everybody that calls in, they want to know, well, how many others are there around here? Is there a lot of competition? And I just want to assure you that the person that's going to give you the most competition is going to be yourself, and I'm going to tell you why here in just a second, okay? Because here's the bad news, and I want you to get this concept down too. This is something to keep close to you as we go forward in 2015, because most thermographers, the ones that I have met, I can tell you, they love thermal imaging. And raise your hand out there if you love thermal imaging, that business, okay? But here's the thing: while they love thermal imaging, they hate business. The majority of our thermographers, our members, really like the technical aspect of it and the cool things, or I should say the hot things that we can do, but they fall down on the business side. Okay, so we're going to be addressing that. Now, going along with that is we have some horrible stats for you, okay? It's not a way to encourage you in the new year, but I got to give it to you straight. So here's the thing. Did you know that over 80% of most thermographers hate to sell, and they never ask for the sale? And I'll bet you right now, if Greg Stockton is listening to this, he is nodding his head big time. And along with the top thermographers that we have in United Infrared, they know this to be a fact, and that is a good number. The 80%, that holds true across really sales in all industries. So here's another thing. Besides people hating to sell, never asking for the sale, here's the other thing. Over 90% have never read a sales book or taken a course on selling. Now that's like knock me over with a feather kind of a stat. But for you to push forward with your business, you're going to have to be more interested in the sales process, and you're going to want to consume more information on how you market, how you sell. And that is what is going to help you move your business forward. So here's something else to consider. In the commercial or the industrial arena, that kind of work, like if you do in roofing and electrical and that sort of a thing, when you get a no from somebody, I want you to realize that does not mean no. So no does not mean no. Not talking about popular culture now. I'm talking about selling. No does not mean no. And here's why. Here's why. This is another writer-downer. You need to write this one down right here. Keep this close to you so you realize what's going on. Typically, sales are not made until after the 6th call. So when you go in there and you're talking to a big-time property manager or a big motor manufacturer or electrical manufacturer or whatever the thing is, that purchasing agent or whomever you see, the head service guy or gal, they want to know that you're real. And after you've made several trips and to gain their confidence, that's when the sales are to begin. So if you go into a business and you come out of there thinking that you got your butt kicked or that they didn't want to see you, realize there's a lot of people that go in there and make an initial attempt at a sales call. You have to be the person that will go beyond that first call. And I want you to realize there's an average nationally, all sales industries, 6 calls to get a sale. Now there's an exception in residential. I want you this year to expect to make the sale on the very first call. First call. And here's why. The vast majority of services for residential type services, they are sold then at the first call. So if you get think about it this way, guys. So if you get a call for something that's going to be a $300 or $500 or $600 thing, you can't afford with your business to be going out there doing an estimate and then hoping to get a call back a couple of weeks later and that sort of thing. Not for that kind of money. So what you might want to think about, and we'll talk about this a wee bit here in some of the tactics. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you will want to be qualifying people before you go out and make that call. Talk on the phone, make them feel good about you, but before you make that first call, there should be an expectation. If you're going out to somebody's residence, the deal is done. The product or the service has been sold. Okay, so the watchword going forward this year: be persistent and be insistent. And the persistent basically is for the industrial commercial world, and insistent in a very nice way in the residential sector of business that we cater to. Okay. And here's something you've heard Greg and Peter talk about this, the 2 founders of United Infrared, that your business is not taking thermal images. It is not taking thermal images. And if you are getting into this business, thinking about getting into this industry because you think it'd be really great to be taking thermal images, I want to tell you that the business is not the taking of the thermal images. And there's a huge distinction here. So this year, I want you to keep close to you the fact that your business is the selling of thermal infrared images that you may or may not have taken. Maybe you're going to sell somebody else's images, but that's your business, is the selling of the images. Because if you have no one to buy your images, it doesn't matter how many images you take, does it? So it's the selling of the images is what is critically important. And you have to know the difference, all right? Okay. So in 2015, we are going to be having, as I said, tactical tips and marketing magic. I'm going to give you a lot of different ideas, simple things, quick things, easy things that you can implement and make a part of your business. Because here's this, let me give you an example. So for instance, why would I have a YouTube channel that's named the Infrared Channel? And by the same token, United Infrared's channel is the United Infrared Channel. So we're going to be talking about that. The fact that when I have videos that I put up, and I've got probably 100 videos that are on the Infrared Channel, and I know United Infrared's got, I think, 300. We do that for a reason. We're going to be talking about that again. I don't want to get into that right now, but what I want you to start doing is paying attention to the way that United Infrared does business, the way I teach you to do business. Pay attention to those things, because there's reasons for all of this stuff. We don't do this willy-nilly, as they say. There's a reason for it. And for instance, I use an email address, which is the infraredchannel@gmail.com. That's my alter email address. You can certainly get me, Gary@unitedinfrared.com. But there's a reason that sometimes I will use the infraredchannel@gmail.com. And you can speculate on why it is that we might do that. But a big part of what we have always taught is credibility. And because we want people to feel good about you, we want them to know that, hey, if there's if somebody has a channel has a YouTube video posted somewhere, how cool is it when it's posted on United Infrared's channel or it's on the Infrared Channel? There's more credibility to it. So that's a part of it. You want to look the part. All right. An old friend of mine who's passed away here a few years now, but he used to say, fake it until you make it. But you want to present, even if you're brand new, you want to present yourself as someone who is knowledgeable, and particularly after you have gone through certification and training, and you've got a good camera, and you know a little bit about what you're doing. So maybe not on day one, but by day 30. You should be moving forward with a pretty self-confident attitude, knowing that you understand this business, and every day you're getting better and better. So we try to buttress our companies by having effective names of media that things are tied into. And again, we're going to be going through all of that stuff. I don't want you to miss any of it. It's all hugely, hugely important, and it's going to benefit you big time if you're a member. And if you're not a member, there's still going to be good stuff for you. But basically, watch what I do. Watch what United Infrared does, and ask yourself the question constantly, why do they do things in a certain way? Okay? And it's kind of like reverse engineering a product, or taking a look at how your competitor does something, figuring out how a different manufacturer or a different thermographer does certain things, and look at the process. What makes sense? What does not make sense? So the things that UI teaches and that I teach, there are reasons for it, and until you've gone through the things that United Infrared teaches or that I teach, and you found that, hey, we're all wet and there's a better way, then adopt our techniques. At least in the beginning, it'll get you moving. And then if you discover some genius techniques along the way, then move into that, and hopefully you'll share some of those with us as well. But that would be our advice to you. Okay, let's do. I want to give you a marketing tip. This is a bonus. So, as I said before, you are the only competitor that you have. Here's the tip. In 2015, act like it. Act like it. You can do this. You understand the business practices, the technical practices. This year, get better and better at the business side of things, which really includes marketing and sales. The push this year is going to be on selling your services and selling it from a standpoint of strength. That's what we want you to do, okay? And together we're going to get there. So I think that's it for today. We'll see you again in a few weeks, about the middle part of February, and we'll have our marketing lesson, our marketing lesson for everybody, and then we'll also have our super secret inside Coach Gary special thing if you're a member. So want to wish you a great 2015, and look forward to working with you and seeing your business growth. This is the year we want you to be working on your business, not so much in your business. We want you to move forward, and sales and marketing, in my humble opinion, is the way to go. So here is to a huge 2015. Thanks for dropping by, everybody.